Now, live from the Blind Ninja Studios in Western Wisconsin, a show with no purpose, hosted by experts at drinking, and they're almost definitely wearing pants. It's time for the Department of Offense. Welcome to episode 267 of the Department of Offense. I'm your host, Casey. Joining me as always is Carlos.
Yeah, I'm here.
And Brian.
Oh, hello.
And Matt.
Oh, hey. It's a lot of episodes.
Gordon. Hey. And Pete.
Hey, get your headphones down just a little bit. All right, thanks a lot.
Totally
Hi.
pumped. Well, if you guys were down here getting
Where
ready
at?
for
I
the
can
show,
turn mine up a
Yeah,
little bit.
well, sometimes
pumped the Pete's
things
here.
happen.
You guys are just all kinds of needy and stuff.
So needy.
Jesus Christ. Sorry.
Does anybody else want their headphones adjusted?
I could use mine up a
Can
little
we
higher.
just stop the show so Pete and I can go outside for a second?
No.
We weren't done.
I'm just kidding. You interrupted us, man. Not
damn
the
it.
other way around.
Before we get too deep here, I want to give a shout out to our patron, specifically our black belt patron, Andy Thompson. He's a glorious human being.
Fuck yeah.
Probably an amazing lover. He's just a great man.
Oh, you've met him. You should know.
If you would like to have his prowess and awesomeness, you too can become a black belt patron by heading over to patreon.com/blindnewstudios and becoming a patron today.
Yeah, today.
All right. If you're doing any Amazon shopping, head on over to blindnewstudios.com, click on the Amazon link at the bottom of the homepage. Do your Amazon shopping as normal, and we get a bit of a kickback from Amazon. Really helps us out. Carlos, do you down more still?
I can't hear anything. That's through my headphones.
You picked a weird time to be curious about the equipment, Carlos.
Yeah, you picked a weird time.
for a while because I was going to see while he's talking if I could look over. Oh, I can hear something now. Was it not in?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't think the cord was in.
Me over here. I'm fine.
Did it
Like
on-
now it's loud.
He screwed up your
God
headphones
damn
on
it.
purpose.
No, yeah, it must have not been the
All right,
headphone
so,
jack.
Carlos,
So what have I been up to?
yeah, well, besides fucking up my show, what have you been up to?
Well, you want to hit that cord again because I think it would fill out the slot. Oh, now it's just gone. Oh, I see.
You lost those privileges.
Does Carlos have something to fiddle with?
I could fiddle with that for a while.
Yeah, I
Here,
guess.
take some cheese buns.
So let's see.
That's my nickname.
I've been doing homework.
This bodes well.
I've been in we recorded last week, right? Yeah.
We did record last week, yep.
Uh,
We record every week.
except the weeks we don't record.
Exactly.
And then
Good way to put it.
let's see. I tried to play the new Far Cry game, but it started crashing. My computer would crash, and I
That
checked
game
my
is so
thermal
fire,
systems,
it burns your computer.
It's overheating your
which
CPU,
is
bro.
a problem. And there it just popped out again. My headphones.
How about just don't
How
deal
about
with
you
it?
do-
But just don't worry about it.
Yeah. But I need it. I need to hear how I sound, guys. I'm really
Sound
vain.
great.
All right?
Terrible.
You guys might know this, but I'm very vain. And I hear all the stomping. It's terrible. But so, well, the last Far Cry game ran just fine on my PC. So now it just, I don't know. This one maybe my computer
Dude.
is designed to take a shit.
Dude,
So I put new
Dan's
thermal
computer
paste
can
on.
run Far Cry. Okay?
So yeah, I put new thermal paste on. Hopefully I got good coverage because I had to rush down here and I couldn't check.
Dude, I don't know what that is.
It's something that goes between the heat sink and then my CPU.
Thermal paste?
Yep.
Yeah,
Thermal paste.
so basically what it does is it allows a sealed connection between the heatsink and the CPU, so you get good heat transfer.
Oh. Yeah, because heat's going to make it want to shut down, right?
Yeah.
Yep,
Well, that stuff doesn't dry up either, so you should be fine. If you need to spread it around more, you can.
Oh,
like
okay.
butter
All the
on
time in
toast.
the world. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it would just dry off. Maybe I'll check after we're done. And if I did it wrong, Pete gets to do the third try.
Well, I don't know.
Okay. will.
I'm not the type that's going to open up a computer, and so I saw the computer in the living room, and I'm like, I wouldn't know what to do with that. So
well, it's like looking at an engine. You
Well, I would know what to do
You,
with.
you open up the hood and you stare at it for a while.
Yep,
and you go,
that's an
"Yep."
engine.
And then you wiggle a hose and you go, "Yep, that'll fix it."
Look, I was looking at instructions online for the best way to spread thermal paste. The best way was to put the dot on and then evenly push down on with my heatsink. I could not do that though because I have hard trouble getting my hands in there with the heatsink at the same time.
Oh.
So it all went to one side.
Yeah, so that did not work well.
Carlos, do you have plastic claw hands?
Yeah, I wear them underneath these fake human hands.
District 9 style tentacles.
I need some cat food.
Yeah, besides that, I haven't done a whole lot with my week.
All right. Okay. Brain,
Yes.
What have you been up to,
Oh,
man?
God, all kinds of shit. We did barrel-aged beer release at the brewery. So we did our main beer, Ridiculous Idiots, is a Russian Imperial Stout. We aged it in some Four Roses bourbon barrels. We also jammed some in Buffalo Trace and a couple Jack Daniels barrels. We ended up making some fine blends. So we have Twice Baked Idiots, Ridiculous Idiots, and another one that is something Idiots. I can't remember. And then there are 3... I should mention the barrel-aged Ridiculous Idiots is available in 12-ounce cans, but at the brewery. And then 3 barrel-aged sours, which are all delicious in their own way. Also, got a trip to Europe coming up here in a few weeks. Yeah, dog.
Where are you going?
Gonna start in land in Amsterdam, take a train to Germany, Wolfenbüttel, and go to the Jägermeister factory.
Fuck
Got a little tour planned there. Then heading to Cologne, do the Kolsch thing. Then to Brussels, do some Belgian beers. In Brussels, I'll see a band I like called Windhand.
Nice.
And then I'll head back to Amsterdam, and I will see Windhand again.
So there's so in Brussels
They're on
there's
tour.
There's a really cool like delirium bar
Oh yeah,
where they
There you
have it's like it's some like ridiculous number of taps. It's like 60 or 70 or something, all Belgian taps, and it's a lot of fun. But if you go at night, they can't pour beer worth of shit.
Why?
Because they're so busy, and instead of like pouring beer like a normal person, Belgians, they leave the glass like on the thing under the tap and just let it flow and just keep whipping the foam off with a knife.
I witnessed that in Amsterdam the last time I was there. I've never been to Belgium.
It's like, guys, it's beer. You pour it into the glass. You don't waste it and fling it
Especially
across
if it's
the room.
busy like that.
Well,
yeah.
so when it's busy, they don't wait for it to fill up. They just like swipe at it a few times. They're like, oh, here's half a beer. That you
It'll
just paid
settle.
€8 for. Here you go.
Well, the Cologne situation, you get a glass and then there's like a coaster, and then they just take a pencil and mark how many beers you've had, and when you're done drinking, you just put a coaster on top of it.
What happens if your coaster turns black
Oh, I don't know, Casey.
from all the scribbling?
You might be doing
You
the
gotta.
dishes, then.
That means that you own the bar now.
Probably doing something wrong.
You win. You get the high score.
him.
It maxes out at a certain point.
So yeah, that, and then I went to Monster Jam last night. My buddy and I took my girlfriend's 9-year-old, and then he took his 9-year-old, and it was pretty entertaining.
Gravedigger still a thing?
Dude, Gravedigger is the only thing. They got Bakugan, they got some other dudes, what have you. They have Son of a Gravedigger is another truck.
He had a child?
Well, I mean, it's Gravedigger. He's pretty
Who's-
popular.
who's
pretty
the
sure he's
mother of
good
Son
with
of a
the
Gravedigger?
Ladies. Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. I
feel
guess
like-
I'd have to Google that.
Like, I don't know. I feel
Mama
like
digger.
Monster Jam
Mama
is
Jigga.
just like WWE set in the Cars universe.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm certain there's got to be a little bit of scripting involved in the monster truck realm. I don't know. The Bakugan guy won 2 things, and he was like really like actory and like hyped up, and they didn't talk to anyone else down on the field until the last guy won. And so and then they had this ad for Bakugan, like I guess it's like a game thing or a kid thing that I don't know about. But they showed this commercial, and it was a kid, and he was throwing this ball, and it turned into a monster, and I was like, oh, Pokemons. No,
it's a Bakugan.
Totally different. Had no idea.
Yeah, instead of balls, they go into cubes.
I don't know, man, but all I'm saying is it reeked of a scripted setup.
But was it
And
fun?
exhaust.
Dude, it was hella
Scripted
fun.
setup and
I don't give a
exhaust.
shit if it's scripted. I'm just saying.
I like to see trucks crush cars.
Yeah, the air was thick with diesel fumes or racing fuel fumes, and the smell of burnt metal. And a lot of the trucks like had mechanical issues. Like many of them, like probably like a good quarter, like a good third of them had to roll back into the pits. One of them even had to change out an entire engine and transmission. Only took him 30 minutes. The fuck?
That's insane.
Yeah. So dude rolled out, got all of his shit replaced, rolled out, and did this like crazy freestyle run. 2 of his tires blew. No fucks were given. Just kept going off jumps. And everyone was screaming and yelling. Like, I found myself screaming and yelling about something I never thought I would.
Just had the best time of your life.
It's pretty rad. I had a couple of $10 domestic beers. Got to see U.S. Bank Stadium. A little bit dizzying and disorienting in some places. Like you're kind of coming up some stairs, and then there's this like big, this vast shit going on, and I don't know. It's a little like disorienting. It's. I don't know if anyone else here has been.
Yeah, I went to one game there.
Just like whoa.
It's a really cool stadium, but the worst trying to walk around in too. Like the hallways are so fucking confusing in there. Yeah.
So I'm just a little confused as to the night of the Monster Jam, because isn't it usually like Sunday?
I wonder why they would do that.
All seats just $5.
Honestly, and then they used to do a bunch of shit in between. Like, there's 3 different types of monster truck things. There's a race, there's a style thing, and then there's freestyle. So they have to do like a stoppie or a bicycle or a wheelie kick or whatever, and then they do a freestyle thing. But then I remember when I was a kid, they used to have like people come out on motors, like
the
dirt bikes,
yeah.
and then quads and shit like that, and go off the jumps and do all that. They don't do that anymore. My theory, by the time we were maybe 20-ish minutes from the whole thing being done, both of the kids were like fucking farts on a skillet. They were just like, it's like, okay, their attention spans are about 2 hours long.
Okay.
And I'm still trying to pay attention and see how the drama unfolds at the goddamn monster truck
Like,
rally.
kids, shut up!
I know.
Gravedigger's on!
Well, goddamn well they save Gravedigger until the last, because then people won't leave. They're like, we got to see Gravedigger. Like, everybody had like Gravedigger shirts too.
That's
They had all
because
these
Gravedigger
shirts.
has been around for 30 years
Yeah, man,
or
it's
40 years. Like
that
something
shit is
ridiculous.
a franchise.
Like,
They retired Bigfoot though. That was my favorite.
what?
Yeah, Bigfoot. Not
Well,
not
I mean,
monster
maybe
truck.
Didn't even know
Gravedigger
it
will
was
dig
big.
up his grave, and then you can
Yeah,
get
the
reanimated Bigfoot.
That's the drama.
That's
So do you
something.
think that every time a driver of Gravedigger dies, that they just have Gravedigger spin his back wheels and there's the grave for the driver?
Yeah, he does like a donut, and then
I mean, it's
like
only been 30 years. So.
instead of it
Maybe-
being like a
maybe
Three generations.
How many drivers does it have?
instead of it being like a square, like or, I'm sorry, a rectangular grave, it's a perfectly round grave from the donuts of the.
It's actually been more than 30 years. 82 was the
Holy
first appearance
shit.
of Gravedigger.
I was 1 year old.
And how many graves did Gravedigger dig for its drivers?
All of them, bro.
So Gravedigger has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drivers.
I'm going to assume that 7 of them died.
Well, yeah, no, that's
What
that
else
what
are they
happens.
gonna do? Yep,
Yeah, it's just it.
it's a franchise.
Oh no, he's had more than that.
What?
Those are the current drivers.
But wait, there's more.
So do you think there's like 5 or 6 Gravediggers? Because Monster Jam might be like all over the U.S.
There's only one Gravedigger. Okay. He just drives to different places.
Yes.
Dude, there were.
He's very fast.
There-
They
the
were
driver
doing
doesn't actually-
flips though in these trucks, man.
Maybe Gravedigger doesn't actually drive, to have the driver drive. They strap him in and like his life force is slowly sucked out by
Oh, that's why there's.
That
like
is
so
the most
many.
fucking Carlos, classic Carlos shit ever. Thank you, Carlos.
Yeah, but it's a little metal. Like
a little bit. I blame myself.
all right. Anything else, Brian?
No, hell no. I was blabbering for like 20 minutes.
All right.
Talk to Matt now.
Matt, what have you been up to, man?
Chili contest is done. Woohoo!
Who won?
People did.
Was it good chili?
I think so.
People.
Now,
Did
how
you
would
eat
rate
any of the chili?
I had a few spoonfuls as I was doing the wrangling part.
Oh, so you've done the chili contest like I do, where I go get drunk and then don't eat any chili.
No, I was just running the chili contest part, and then all of a sudden it was like, the day's over. Thank God. And I just wanted smell of chili, get out of there.
You know, it's a better competition. Hot dish.
It's true. Luckily, there's only 18 chilies this year, so that wasn't too bad. Last year when it was 30 of them, it's like this is going on forever.
That's insane.
Did your truck stop chili make a reappearance? Or,
No,
No,
it
it
did
did not.
It did not.
No.
But I shouted it out.
We had what, 8 this year only?
Yeah, I
8
think
or
it was
9,
8.
yeah.
8, yeah.
Well, there's like 18 or 20s, whatever last year. But this year, it
was
just,
on Super Bowl Sunday.
There was no other way to do it.
And everybody got an award. So.
Well,
That's
also like it was a much more manageable amount of hot dish.
that too.
Where we were able to go and get seconds.
Well, yeah, dude, this is like the beer judging thing. Like, if you get put in the double IPA section and you're judging 8 beers, 5 ounces a piece, 40 ounces of beer, is the same thing with judging a chili contest. You're eating like 2-3 ounces of like 20 different chilies. Well, Jesus Christ!
How do you
like,
determine?
Yeah,
have to
didn't you
take
just
really
do
good notes.
the Dick's one?
Yeah,
You were a
man.
judge?
I judged the chili contest at Dick's, and there were like 20, and I it was like a couple little,
You're like a spoonful
a
of
couple
chili.
You have
spoonfuls,
to smell
and
and the
then-
bite, and then put it away unless
and
you
then
needed
that's
that
that.
second bite. No.
No pun intended, but the most hotly contested thing at a chili contest is the whole spice aspect. What?
You punt like a motherfucker.
That's right. That's why I got some tenure on this show now. It's my puns. I'm just kidding. Anyway, yeah, it's like that. That's super well contested because, that's the most subjective shit. I mean, you get other, like okay, texture, whatever, but heat.
Yeah, we had
you
we
find
had
that at
5
yours?
judges or whatever, and each one rates it on the heat scale. So then I add those up, and that kind of determines where the heat will be, if it'll be in a hot or regular category.
Do you measure by
Oh,
Scoville?
so you guys break
We
break
have-
it down.
Yeah, we have
All right.
first regular and first hot, so there's 2 separate things.
That's kind of cool.
And then nobody's like putting their shit in like this one's a hot one or not. It's just like it's decided. Let
them decide, yeah.
Well, let me ask you this though. So when do you decide how the chili is presented, or do people bring it to you, or like how did you guys organize that part?
if Margaret puts the chili in the bowl and just hands it out, that's
Okay.
about it. Yeah. If some judges are just trying the chili, if there's supposed to be things on top of it, then they should have brought it like that. Like the one hot dish.
Oh,
remember?
the assembly
It was
required.
delicious, but yeah, it was like no, I don't want to have to
cheese
do all
on
this
it.
work. To
First
judge
of all,
this.
It was good because it was just nachos.
It's true.
Like
Yeah, that's what I like about it.
Well, yeah, and then she even told us, no, you had to have everything all at once, and it's like, no, I'm just try the hot dish part, aren't I?
No, see, now the best way to do this is just to have a little ass cup of chili.
Yep.
No BS. I know what sour cream tastes like.
Yep.
I know what cheese crumbles taste like. I know what that stuff tastes like. I want to judge the chili. I don't want to judge chili that someone lobbed some sour cream, some cheese, and some other shit in, some chives, whatever.
also you're lactose intolerant.
For the most part, yeah, but I deal with it.
And then go from there.
I just ate a fucking part of a cheesy bun.
I know.
I don't give a shit. Well, actually, I
He
do.
doesn't give a fuck.
Speaking of that, I gotta go upstairs quick, guys. Otherwise, last night I went to go see a Talking Heads cover band at the Fine Line. It was pretty
sweet.
fun.
What are they called?
Slippery People. I'd recommend. It's really good. And that's me.
All right. Gordon,
What's happened?
what have you been up to, man?
Not a whole hell of a lot. Real busy week at work. I just started binging Punisher season 2.
The final season of Punisher.
Stupid.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
didn't
though the Netflix series or the Marvel ones are going away because
yeah.
Disney wants to own them or do their own on their streaming service.
Stupid.
Was that Ray?
So we're gonna lose all the Disney movies on
What was the
Netflix too.
Punisher's
Then,
name?
Yeah.
Probably. Frank Castle.
Oh, Frank Castle, not Ray. I was gonna say Ray Castle.
You're
Whatever.
close.
Close enough.
Other than that, not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot. All right. Do you want to introduce your
Yeah.
guests?
Yeah, I got Eric and Alex in here for ROA, but Eric is head of The Connection.
The Connection. Yeah. How's it going, guys?
Good. It's going pretty
Good to see
good.
ya.
Going pretty good.
Nice.
Nice to have you down here.
For sure.
All right.
Yeah.
So what is The Connection?
That's a band with me and my friend Paul. I play guitar and piano and sing, and he does guitar, piano, and sings too. We kind of have to like make up for the other positions that we're lacking, so
Okay.
we all do a little bit.
What kind of band? Like what kind of music do you guys play?
I'd say alternative pop, alternative rock a little bit.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have a band camp or something that people can find you at?
Yeah, I have a SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, Tidal, basically everything. I don't have Bandcamp. That's
Well-
like the only one I don't have.
So
What's
What's the handle?
yeah?
yeah?
What do you mean? What?
The like SoundCloud.com/
Dude, I don't know. I just
what is the band name?
I have
The
a
band name.
I have a DistroKid account, So when you sign up for them, they
Oh,
create
push
all
them.
of those
Okay.
for you. So
Gotcha.
I didn't set
I
that up
see.
myself, but
Well,
Cool.
Pete's
All right.
asking because
Okay.
Pete dabbles.
okay.
Yeah, no, I've got a SoundCloud, and I'd be
Yeah,
like,
he makes
down
techno
there.
music.
Techno music. Yeah, no,
Nice.
it's not techno.
What is it?
To these guys, it's techno.
It's made with technology.
So that's what
It
I was
is.
going to ask though, is how do you get your stuff on Spotify? But I guess you just kind of
Online distribution.
Okay.
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Did you find
It's
it?
pretty easy to do.
Well, I got it on Instagram, and it's the CONNEC_ION.
Okay, so it's probably the
Okay.
same across.
Gotcha.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. Thanks, Gordon.
There you go.
Gordon did something right for once. I don't know how I feel about this.
We're starting 2019 off right.
You got the
How
internet
do you explain the previous month and a half? I don't.
The calendar year doesn't count as my year.
It's just leave him alone.
All right.
He brought cheese buns and cookies.
You're right. This is the highlight of Gordon's career.
Reject
Thank
cookies.
you so much.
Preparing for
Cheese
my
buns.
show, I bring cheesy buns from the legendary Bitmad Bakery. Also
Yeah,
because
which you
of
can listen
Terrestrial
to an entire interview with on Rules of the Arena.
Yeah, episode 16.
Yes. And that was a lot of fun because we made sandwiches.
Yeah, I missed
Yeah.
that one. I'm pissed. It's like, shit, I should have gone.
Dude, there was more food than. Yeah, it was.
There was so much food. It was delicious. But there wasn't any babka bread, so it was a whole thing.
Let's not bring that up
something
again.
That's something completely different. It has nothing to do with this other subject.
Not a real
Damn
thing.
it,
Completely
Casey.
unrelated.
Pete, what have you been up to, man?
Oh, geez. I went to Swinging Bridge today.
Oh, yeah.
That's most recent thing. Before here, I went there. So,
Did you have it? What'd you have?
the oatmeal stout with coffee,
Oh, nice.
and then the Four Winds IPA. So, drank a couple beers. Yeah.
Had a couple of brews.
Before that, me and Jen went to the Alamo. We watched They Shall Not Grow Old.
Oh, how was it?
It was really cool. It was very strange. Like, the way they had to restore the footage or whatever is, like, really, like, weird in some spots because they, like, basically generated people's faces where, like, they weren't really showing in some of the footage. And so it looks kind of, like, funny. But I
A
don't
little
know.
like
I don't-
uncanny.
Like, what's the context? I'm lost.
Well, basically, Peter Jackson, he did Lord of the Rings and some other,
Yep.
probably some other stuff too, right, Matt?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
King Kong.
King
Yeah,
Kong.
Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
is what he's best
Yeah.
known for.
But no, they some like museum had a bunch of film or something that they were like, hey, make a movie out of this, and he's like, oh, geez, okay. Like, how do I make this good? And they like they came up with some weird technique to restore.
Yeah,
some
so
of the
Weta
footage.
Workshop did all the restoration, and it's
Yeah.
a bunch of original World War I footage that the British Museum had.
Sweet.
And so he remastered it, and then did he cut it into a story, or was it more like a documentary?
He cut it into a story. He kept like the same characters. He didn't introduce them because they were only like you could only hear their voice. It wasn't like there wasn't anything on the screen saying like, oh, the guy talking is this guy.
Yeah.
It was just like
So the
Different
audio was
clips with-
recorded separately. So the
Yeah.
audio was taken from interviews.
yeah from years ago, obviously, because World War
Yeah.
One, veterans.
Yep.
you know,
And so
super-
yeah,
not
so they just
here anymore. But
so they just took the footage and then just overlaid the audio on it.
yeah, basically, and he kind of put it in a way like start of the war to the end kind of thing. Like it definitely gave it a different perspective. It was like just like Britain and them like the Americans like weren't even like talked about or shown really at all.
Well,
It was
the
just,
the
like-
American bit of World War One.
it wasn't very
like,
big. Yeah, there was not a whole lot there. But like even some of the other.
I want to say
Allied.
that was another one that we just kind of got dragged into. Was it not World War One? I know World War Two. We got fucking completely dragged into it.
Well, so I mean, if you want to get really into the history of World War II, we were looking for a reason to join in, and we had already been running guns and supplies for the British.
Yeah.
And so we were part of it, but we hadn't officially declared war on anyone.
right, and I think that holds true for both of them anyway.
Yeah.
So
There's
All right,
any-
well,
How long was
there's any-
the movie? Like an hour and a half, 2 hours?
That was like 2 hours.
Because they had given Peter Jackson over 100 hours of film, and they restored all of it.
Yeah, they restored
Yeah.
all 100 hours.
Well, if you stayed past the credits, like at the beginning, it's Peter Jackson for like 5 minutes just talking about it, and then he's like, "Yeah, if you stay after the credits, there's a 30-minute thing on how we restored it all, but we just left." So
Really? I think that would be the most one of the most interesting parts is how they restored that footage.
Yeah, but we were already there for 2 hours, and like, we're like,
Oh,
let's go. It was
sorry,
like-
get another beer. It's Alamo.
That's a good point.
I guess.
that,
you just
so that was in
keep buying $8
Woodbury.
beers.
Yeah.
Have you been to the Hudson since they got there?
No.
Okay, well they have Hop and Barrel beer there, so chop chop.
Anyway,
hey.
I refuse to go anywhere else now because the Alamo is so good.
All right, dude, tell us about your Lyft driver career, bro.
I've talked about it. There's not a lot to it.
Not in front of me.
You sign up and they're like, okay, upload all your documents. Then I did, and then like half an hour later, like, okay, you're good to go. And then you just turn it on, and like, as you're sitting there, like the first night I did it, nothing happened. But the next night, obviously, somebody was like, hey, I need a ride. And they're like this far away. Like, okay, they're 5 minutes away. And then they need to go like down the block or like up to like 40 miles. Otherwise, it tells you that it's going to be a long drive kind of deal. So I've had like 6, I think. Most people don't tip.
What?
Which is weird because like I've tipped every Lyft driver.
Yeah,
like,
everyone. Like 25% right off the bat. Just,
yeah, because Lyft is taking a cut of that too.
Yep.
And so like $3.50 ride, it's like, okay, great. Like I drove, 6 minutes to get there and then drove them like 2 blocks.
Yeah.
Or like when you're further away and it's like, oh, it's 15 minutes away. And then you go pick them up and it's like, oh, we need to go, down to Aldi. And we're like already on that side of town. It's like, okay, there's $4. So like,
Who the fuck lifts to Aldi? You're going to Aldi because you don't have it.
like if you're in like,
Let's not get into socioeconomic bullshit.
it's just because Hudson is like in between, obviously the Twin Cities and then like Eau Claire. And so like people are, obviously going greater distances. So I don't know. It's just a strange place. If I went to like Minneapolis or like the airport or something, I'm sure it would be great. Just like.
So how much in how many dollars then have you made?
Like.
What the?
Carlos.
You see my hand? It's like this. It did it itself.
No, we can't. I can't see anything. I'm certain that you fiddled with something and knocked it down, causing that loud crash. It's the only answer.
I think like $50-$60.
Really?
Oh, that's not
okay. All right.
So, I don't know. If I did it like every week, it'd be more. But
No, but I mean that's some
like
beer money. Like
if my car's not cleaned up, there's a bunch of shit in there, and like I don't want to like just turn it on and be like, oh, sorry about my shoes or my socks in the back there. Oh, a pair of pants, just shove those over. 'Cause sometimes I live on my car. So.
You should be working during Hop and Barrel's 2-year anniversary, so I don't have to walk home from downtown.
Well, just text me and I'll turn it on if I'm around.
Wait, where'd you walk?
I walked from Agave to North Hudson.
Holy, jeez.
It's not the first time.
All right.
No, but you went to North Hudson.
Oh, that's kind of where my parents' house is, and I didn't want to walk to Spooner.
You should have walked to Spooner.
I would still be walking.
Can you remind us how many beers you had?
13.
Yeah.
At Hop and Barrel.
And you walked?
And you
made
counted?
It?
Oh, then we went to Agave and I had 2 whiskeys, and then I walked.
Wow.
Well, alrighty then.
Well, anyway.
So, I went to Green Bay. That's a thing I did this week.
Yeah, Green Bay,
but all right. So more importantly, so first, I guess Friday night, I stayed home from work. It was a whole thing. Then we picked up some bottles of sake and we played Mario and got really drunk, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Wait, did you put them in the sous vide?
Sake drunk is good drunk.
I had a
Super
pretty
Mario
good
Brothers
buzz going.
3.
That was good. I slept really good too.
Yeah. No. So we put the sake bottles in the sous vide and we kept them at 110 degrees or whatever. So it was nice and warm and good, and we used technology to make our drinking experience
Great
better.
idea.
And then we died over and over again in World War III.
But then we celebrated so hard.
When
my god, yeah. You guys both jumped up and were like hugging and high-fiving.
Wait,
It
what
was literally
game
like,
are we talking about?
Yeah,
Super
which
Mario Brothers 3.
Oh,
You did what in that game?
So we made it to World 3, and so we played Worlds 1 and 2, and then Matt showed up while we were in the middle of World 3, and it took us 2 hours.
Probably. Because you were trying to
hours.
keep that while I was
Because there was
finishing
the hour
awards.
that we spent on the first 3 levels of
Oh
World
yeah,
3.
yeah. We literally spent an hour on 3 levels of Super Mario Brothers 3.
Okay.
that we could not beat.
I'm going to venture a guess here that you couldn't beat it?
Well, because
did eventually.
We had to beat the 3rd level to move on. I mean, there was the shortcut that we could have unlocked by.
Yeah,
using the
Carl's had a
hammers.
fucking hammer, and he wouldn't use it.
So it's like Casey had a hammer, I had a hammer. It's like, Casey, if we break both of these rocks with our hammers, we can go through. So we broke it with his hammers, and I was like, we're gonna keep going with the levels now that you wasted your hammer.
Well, let me ask you this though: isn't it second world? It's like level 2. Isn't that the one where you can gain all the extra lives by jumping a bunch on the shells?
Yeah, we didn't do that.
Why?
He didn't think about it because we were breezing through everything.
What I mean, what you guys went through probably 40 lives together.
Oh, more than that.
Well, I'm trying to beat that one pirate ship level.
Oh yeah, no. So the final
Like on 8?
No.
that's
We
the World 3,
World,
the
World
last-
3,
Oh,
the
got it.
castle at the end of World 3.
Because it took no flutes.
Yeah, we also didn't take any flutes.
That's fine.
The fuck does that
Also,
even mean?
Warp whistles.
yeah, warp whistles.
So is there a
Not,
World
it's not a
4
flute.
then?
Of
Yeah,
course,
there
Carlos
is.
said fucking
So
flute. It's a whistle.
we made it to World 4 and then we stopped.
Okay.
Because we were too drunk and there was no way we were going to be able to platform.
Okay.
And we already did the hard part.
What do you mean we already did the hard part?
Shit.
It gets harder.
Yeah, man. Eighth world is no fucking joke.
I don't know, but that boss
No,
in
the
that
8th
ship-
world is bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, that boss on that ship, like every time, like, oh, we got, like, oh, it shoots these things that stay on the screen. All right.
Donuts.
And then, its second form is it jumps around, like, then Casey dies. And then eventually we get to the third one, and there's just bullets everywhere, and it sucked.
It was amazing. And then then I went to Green Bay to go hang out with Rick for the weekend, and that was fun. Hit up Titletown, where they have a fucking glitter beer, those assholes.
Meh.
And then I went to Copper State, and their beer was pretty good. Went to Noble Roots, and they had some really good beer. That was awesome. Met up with a homebrewer buddy of Carlos. Can you hand me one of those? Yeah. Thanks, man.
Well, I'm gonna grab one too.
All right, and then I don't. Then just kind of did some bar hopping and stuff. Met up with a buddy from high school, Todd. And yeah, it was.
Met up with Dr. Todd, huh?
Met up with Dr. Todd, medicine woman.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that one. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
And then then it drove back. That is a boring ass drive.
I bet. Yeah.
It is a boring ass drive.
We were
And it's
talking
so-
about this on one of the homebrew shows before this. I drove one time from Minneapolis to Lincoln, Nebraska, and the most exciting part was when we started seeing those wind power
The wind turbine.
field,
turbines?
the turbines. I was like, wow, that's great. Okay, now more corn.
Well, and those even those turbines get old eventually.
Well, that's the point. Yeah, it's like, well, see you later.
They get old immediately.
They get old immediately.
Like,
drove
it's, like unless you're Dutch, and then you're like, oh, a windmill. Like,
When we drove out to Colorado, I got stuck with the shift there and back through Nebraska. It's just fucking 8 hours of hell.
oh my god, boring.
sometimes you can see a train.
I saw, I think, maybe 3 trees and like 2 cows, and the rest was corn.
There's like nothing in this can. You want some of this lager?
No.
There's
Why
like
not?
nothing in
You
here.
can give
you
it
want?
back.
Are you not going to try the beer there, Matt?
Oh, I thought this is what you were trying.
No,
No.
We're doing the
We're
leg.
drinking salmon pants.
Oh.
Wait,
Salmon
what is
pants.
That? Is that Olifant?
That's Olifant.
Yeah.
I
Is
just-
it
I-
squishy?
I
Oh,
assumed
the
this was
squishy.
for drinking because.
Well, I mean, it
it's-
is for drinking, but it's also the beer we're trying.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
All right. Other than that, I don't know. I'm still very happy about my new fermenters, and they're shiny and stainless, and they make me happy on the inside and on the
Yeah,
outside.
they're still shining.
What
What does that mean?
do you mean? What
Nothing.
I don't understand. What part did you not understand? All right. And then let's talk about some beer, Carlos. In front of us we have Salmon Pants from War Pig. War Pig's Brew Pub. There's something where like War Pigs and Three Floyds did a collab, right?
3 Floyds and McKellar.
McKellar?
That,
Okay.
that
War
is
Pigs
War
is-
Pigs.
Okay. All right.
That is War Pigs. And then if you, I would imagine if you take a look at the can here, it is going to indicate that it is brewed in. Well, I'll be dipped in shit. This one doesn't say. It's actually
Brewed by War Pigs USA Brewing LLC, Chicago, Illinois.
okay. So in particular, this 6-pack was brewed in Chicago. Now, if it was brewed in St. Paul in the Summit Brewing brewery, it would indicate on the can. And I know damn well that it's now brewed at Summit, and I can actually say that out loud on the air. And it is distributed by College City Beverage out of Dundas, Minnesota.
That is a lot of collaboration on the
Yeah,
beer.
yeah. Well, I mean, you've got to have if you're planning to be in the Midwest market, the best thing to do would be to have it contract brewed in the Midwest.
Well, but Chicago is in the Midwest.
Correct. But
So why would they need to do Summit as well? Is it just like a size thing or
capacity.
yeah? Okay.
Collaborated for a long time and then sat on a shelf for a year.
Yeah, I think this one's kind of on the old.
February
side.
2018.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Oh wow.
Well, that's why I figured that because
Yeah.
it still said Chicago and not.
And I was
Summit.
like, that. This definitely doesn't. It's not supposed to taste like this. I used to like this beer a lot. Definitely don't like this one.
This is my first time having it.
'Cause, yeah,
Now we know.
as soon as it's like hoppy, it's like, yeah, I can see that there were hops in there at some point in time.
All right. Well, Gordon, you want to grab those old?
Oh, and all of a sudden my fresh cut grass doesn't sound so bad.
Yeah, well, what you guys don't know out there in listener land is that Gordon rolled in with some beers and was like, "Hey, let's try these beers, you guys," and it ended up being like 2 years old. So
2-year-old IPA.
here we are in the basement, sitting here with a bunch of fucking old beer.
I brought,
So this one's only a year old.
brought one redeemer.
It's
All right,
vintage.
give me Carlos. Talk about this a bit.
I mean, it's okay. I could really, it really would be a lot better if that. Like, it's a lager, but like it's also supposed to be a hoppy lager, and I don't know, like the hops aren't fresh. And it's kind of a bummer.
Brain.
I don't feel very good about rating it. If
Well, I'm not asking for a rating yet.
oh damn, you're right. My bad, son. Yeah, no, it tastes good, but I think for me when hops get old, they start tasting a little bit soapy, and that's kind of what I'm picking up on this.
Matt.
Yeah, this is normally pretty crushable. I like this beer a lot. And
Now you don't. All right. Gordon.
It's fine. I've had it fresh before on tap, and
I like it on tap a lot more.
I'm not a lager, hoppy or not type of guy. So
Wait, why aren't you a lager man?
It's
I
just-
thought you had taste.
It's
It's not.
You
such
were
a
wrong.
like
lager
a
for him.
standard light lager.
Next thing you're gonna
colored
tell me is
lager.
you don't wear Dapper Dan.
I don't, as you can see by the mop on my head.
What is that?
Dapper Dan, man.
Yeah, what?
I don't
From
know what that is.
I'm sorry, that was obscure.
Brother, where art thou?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
George Clooney's a Dapper Dan man.
Yeah, Gillette. Not was it 2 weeks away from everything. I can't think of the quote now.
Oh, it's a geographical anomaly.
Yeah. No, I don't. It's just light lagers. I just don't care for them.
All right, Pete.
Yeah, I've never had this beer before, and now I'm having it, and I shouldn't be. So, thank you.
And I'm making decisions, and I don't. Like
I would like to thank whoever brought this here today.
Actually, Carlos chose this one.
Actually, Casey bought it.
You picked it out.
Oh yeah, but you bought it.
I know that it's
I'll leave
named
you with that.
Salmon Pants because
Wasn't
there's
there
a guy
a-
that came in the brewery all the time wearing salmon-colored pants.
Oh,
Wasn't there a homebrew bound episode where you were complaining about people looking at bottling dates and canning dates?
I was complaining about people not looking at them.
And here we are.
I thought I was safe with a lager.
Yeah.
No, this one they've been brewing it for quite a while now.
Yeah,
so
no, our local bottle shop, I need to just always be on my toes, and I was not this time, and I apologize. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's lagery. It would be much better fresh, I think. With those hops, with the degradation on the hops, it's so hard to, like, you can see where the potential of this beer was, and you see it now, and you just get a little sad.
Yeah, when you put lager in a can, you know, it doesn't keep lagering. It just gets old.
We actually talked about that today on Homebrew Bound. Listen to our lager episode in 2 weeks.
Yeah. That was a good one, too.
It was. We talked about lager.
Lager.
why didn't you drink salmon pants on that one?
We're drinking other shit.
Because we were drinking other things, okay? God, it's not all about you, Matt.
Sorry.
All right, Carlos, give me a number.
I'm gonna give it.
And keep in mind, this is old.
Yeah.
So we are giving it an old number.
This is
So,
an old-
Carlos, I would like you to say it in an old-timey voice.
No, don't make him do it. A bit again.
Well, let me think about that here.
And he's gonna have to go upstairs and
I'm
get
gonna
his
have to-
cowboy hat.
Well, I'll give this. I'm gonna give this one a 6.
Right.
And in 2019 numbers, that's like a 10.
Inflation rate.
I think so.
No, it was a 6 out of 10. So I mean,
Whoosh.
you'd have to increase the 10 by the same amount to keep the
All right,
fraction.
Brian,
the
would you
same.
like us to skip over you?
I don't feel comfortable rating product that isn't fresh. But I think normally this would be up in the 8s for me. So
Okay. Matt?
Yeah, I'll go 7.5 from what I usually like it.
Gord?
Give it my old Untapped score from last year, 5.
out of 5.
No, I'm scaling up to a 10
Oh, okay.
on a 10-point scale.
I don't have a rating.
Okay.
Why don't you
But
su-
you
why
do,
don't
though,
you-
because you're a Lyft driver. You have a rating.
What's your rating?
My acceptance rating is probably low because I just ignore people most
I'll
of
never
the
look
time.
at that. Dude, when I'm using the Lyft app, I'm too drunk to.
Well, people can't really. I don't think they can see it either. Because they're like, I need a ride.
No, you
and then
can,
it just gives me the ride, no
as-
matter what.
As,
if I'm the
as
only
the
one.
rider, you can see what their rating is.
But if there's one.
Oh no, you just get in whatever car shows up.
Exactly.
You don't you're like, oh, this guy only has 4 stars. I'm still gonna get in his Lyft and drink his water bottle.
Only 4.
It's gonna be fine.
I don't do that shit, dude.
No wonder you don't have a good rating.
You get some water bottles.
Maybe a dish of
I
candy.
just need to build a tap.
Oh, dude, I got
The
into one Lyft and they gave me an apple.
Wow.
That was pretty neat. Like, would you like a snack?
Was
And they
it
had like a little fruit bowl.
But I don't.
We just got
When
into
someone
the Lyft
says
last
snack,
night.
I think Doritos. So that would have been bullshit for me.
We got on the Lyft last night.
Actually,
I was
that's not
looking
a
on the
bad
phone,
idea,
It's like
Pete.
$50 to get back. I'm like, fuck that. So we just hopped in some random Lyft car. He's like, how much you gonna charge us just to get back? He's like, oh, $30. Okay, just give him cash.
Where?
Yeah, we could have got killed.
Where was
easily.
that?
Minneapolis.
You could have been
It was a
murdered.
Lyft car.
You're
It
talking
was.
about
It had
off the books, though?
Yeah, yeah.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah, we were
But you-
quite drunk and it was bar closed and I didn't want to spend $50-$60.
Yep.
I understand. You almost died.
Almost died.
I'm gonna give this beer a rating now.
Okay.
I mean, I've never had this beer. This is my first experience with this beer, and it makes me sad that Carlos picked out a year-old beer.
Classic.
I know, right? It was aged. You could age any beer. It's cellared, right? I never. I can still drink it. It's a 5.
All right.
I mean, I'm not gonna there's some lager in there that I can taste. Yeah, no, that's about all I got on that one. All right, so now there's a thing where I push a button.
And now the Department of Defense presents news with Casey.
That's me. We're done with that. An outraged woman has resorted to extreme lengths to reclaim her suburb and help police catch an alleged brazen sex pest accused of exposing himself to terrified women while riding a bike along the foreshore in Applecross. This story comes out of Australia, by the way. The woman, who wanted to remain anonymous, claimed she'd been confronted by the man multiple times while walking in the park along Melville Beach Road, and has spoken to other women who say they've had similar disturbing encounters with the alleged flasher. I was really upset when I found out other women were feeling just as terrified as I was, she said. One woman I spoke to told me she was never going back to that park. She said the man stayed on his bike during most of the incidents, but on occasion he hopped off and approached her. And she's told other women. So this week, in a bizarre tactic to say the least, she spent 3 days hiding out in the park wearing a gorilla cop costume, so the alleged pervert would not be able to recognize her.
Wait, 3 days.
In case he...
This is Australia.
Hang on. So she's wearing a gorilla suit?
Yeah.
Or is it guerrilla?
Gorilla.
Gorilla.
Gore, like monkey.
What's a guerrilla?
Well, like guerrilla marketing.
Gorilla,
or
like, or
gorillas in the jungle fighting a guerrilla
getcha.
warfare.
like
Gorilla.
Central America, gorilla.
Like army fatigue gorilla.
Okay, I got it, guys.
So guys.
So, like, a
that
guy with a
are
gun.
Gun guys. that
The gun
they
guys.
do gun things and just Yeah,
Maybe a ghillie suit is involved.
I don't think he gets it yet.
I do like a good ghillie suit.
All right.
That's why I was wondering, because I was like, "Whoa, is this a ghillie suit?" Or is
But
it
this is
fucking what are we
happening
talking
in
about?
Australia, though, where it's hot.
It's
Good
summertime.
day. It's hot out.
And she was wearing this gorilla outfit, as in the monkey type creature.
On Thursday, the woman, who has named herself Cop Kong, finally spotted the accused bike-riding deviant who wore shorts, which he allegedly had pulled up around his waist so his genitals were hanging out, followed him on her own bike, and relayed details and his exact location to the local police. Yesterday, police charged a 47-year-old Palmyra man with 4 counts of committing indecent acts in public over a 9-month period.
So this guy wasn't suspicious when a gorilla started like following him on a bicycle.
It's Australia, man. There's weirder
guess.
things. You're probably worried about drop bears and hoop snakes. And
Dude, what would like
and the tree that's called the Widowmaker.
Exactly.
Snake?
she took a boombox and like bungee corded it to the front of her bike and it was playing the Yakety Sax song the whole time. Don't worry about it.
If she's on the phone with the police, why couldn't she just take her, like, film him in the act and then send that to the police and they could?
Well,
for an
because
ID?
like first, the police had to have a translator because she's on her bike just going.
No,
I think she's allowed to speak like a human. I
Next
don't think she
story,
has to make
please.
gorilla
but
sounds.
let us consider this for a second. Have you ever seen the bicycle seat on like say a road bike? How like skinny they are.
Oh yeah, no.
Think about this guy driving with
If
no
you're
pants.
not wearing
and his cock
padding-
and balls are like, it's like he's like, oh, which side of the seat does it go on? You know, I mean, it depends. You know, it really depends. Which
So-
you know,
without proper padding, you can make yourself sterile by riding bicycle.
that's true. That's why Lance Armstrong only had one ball.
No, I don't think that was the reason.
No, that was
That was
yeah.
cancer.
That was because he needed to be lighter so he could be faster.
It's more aerodynamic with one.
Do they like give him like a handicap ball to put on? They're like, here you are. You know,
Just a
Several-
fishing weight. He has to
several
keep in his
ounces
pocket.
of weight.
They gave
put
him
into
a
your,
fake dog ball like they use on some dogs.
Smoke and flames didn't seem to deter people from trying to get their fast food fix. People reportedly continued to line up at the drive-thru at an A&W restaurant in Winnipeg on Sunday, even after the store caught fire. The dense smoke and intense heat made it difficult for firefighters who attempted to douse the flames from the outside. Crews remained at the scene for nearly 8 hours, according to news reports. Everyone inside was able to escape the store without injury. One firefighter had minor injuries but didn't need hospital care.
I would have gotten out of that line. How long was the line?
I mean, it's
I'm not getting out of that line. I don't
Also,
give
it's a
shit, man.
flame broiled burger. They should still be able to make them.
Well, if it's on fire, though, the grills are down. But you can probably still get ice cream.
Carlos, it's flame broiled.
that's a good
They
point.
have more grills now.
I don't think that's how it works.
If there's more flame, more grill.
So where did this happen again?
Canada.
Florida or Germany? Oh, Canada.
All right. He thought it'd be a perfect idea. Herb Wesson, the president of Los Angeles' city council, suggested deploying an army of cats to fight City Hall's rodent problem, but was told Friday that adding cats to the equation would likely only worsen the issue. Anyone who's ever seen Tom and Jerry knows that cats can be lethal to smaller prey, even though a recent study suggested otherwise.
Wait. They're using Tom and Jerry to prove their points?
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
Did they cite their source?
It's L.A.
It's
So so the point of it was that so Tom and Jerry shows that cats are not good at catching
No, that
rodents,
cats can be lethal to smaller prey.
which is what they want, right?
Yeah.
Well, keep reading it, man. What was the problem?
Well, now I lost
they
my
didn't,
spot.
they didn't really
All right,
flesh
but
it
the
out.
idea seems to even have less of a chance of implementation due to city health officials saying that cats would help spread fleas in the 91-year-old building and its City Hall East Annex. The fleas from the rats would immediately jump onto the cats. Dr. Don Terashita said. So basically, they're worried about like they're it's that whole like the little old lady who swallowed a fly issue.
Except the whole time, like every single time something else got eaten, it was passing on as STD to the next person. Got it.
Yeah, dude, this is some fucking bubonic plague shit. y'all.
Why don't they just hire an exterminator?
Yeah, I think they should just hire an exterminator. It's probably cheaper than taking care of a whole bunch of cats afterwards. Too.
We use glue traps at the brewery, and it is extremely startling when there's a glue trap under a plastic flat in the malt room, and it's just like it's squeaking and pooping and trying to get away.
Squeaking and pooping.
That's what they do.
Very humane.
Bro.
You need to get an intern just for that.
Carlos, you can't hire an intern just to bat rats on the head.
But
You could
boop
totally
them on
just
the
get a
head.
big snake and let it free
No,
roam.
you could just hire a little bunny foo-foo.
We were thinking about getting a brewery cat, but that building is big. You'd have to get at least 2.
And apparently then you have fleas.
No. You only have fleas if the fleas jump from the rodents to the cats. And you can treat the cats for the fleas.
Yeah.
I don't know. You read it.
There's
man.
even
I listened to
callers
it. I
that
heard
you
you
can
reading it. You read it.
I'm just
it's
glad
called
that you were. I'm just honestly just surprised you were listening.
Mike could tell me, man. Sometimes I'm not listening.
I know. All right, drivers were startled to see a hungry bear that got stuck on the back of a garbage truck and took a ride across a stretch of eastern North Carolina. News reports that a motorist called Bertie County 911 on Wednesday morning about a bear hanging off a truck on U.S. Route 17. Apparently, the snack-seeking bear climbed into the trash truck during a stop and became trapped after the driver secured the netting that prevents garbage from blowing out. Sheriff John Hawley says a deputy stopped the truck with a bear perched on top just outside of Windsor. The driver, who hadn't been aware of the bear, pulled back the net and the bear ran off before the truck continued to the landfill. I feel like the bear should have stuck around for just a bit and he would have had just a heyday.
Well, all you had to do was roar at the guy, be like, "Bleh." And the guy's like, "Oh snap! I'm sorry, bro." And then he would have wandered off.
But from
The
the
bear's got a long way home. that's
Bro,
for
what
sure.
do you think the bear was after in particular in the back of the truck, though?
honey,
Garbage?
Well, no, but what type of garbage?
Like
honey?
donuts?
Why would there be honey in there?
I don't know. That's all bears eat.
Well, see,
I've seen Winnie the Pooh.
I was listening to another podcast about bears, and they're scientists looking at their part of the brain that breaks down sense. They can actually tell time, like have a timetable based on what sense. Like,
Are you talking about math? Because
No,
so
like,
far I've heard sense and
no, they
times
can like
tables.
based on how strong the scent is, they can tell how long ago the food source was by. Like, 4 days ago there was a carcass here, and 30 minutes ago some lady with shitty Chanel perfume walked through here.
2 weeks ago,
Stuff like
somebody
that. I
opened
mean,
up a
all the way
bag
up
of
to I think
Doritos.
it's a week or 2 weeks that they can smell things.
Are all bears Sherlock Holmes?
Probably.
That's another way to tell time, dude. Smell.
Bear smell?
A year ago to this day, the spirit can
Hang
smell
on,
We're
that.
gonna have this debate again.
Bear, what time is it? Well, it's about 2 Chanels ago. I don't.
About 2 Chanels and a cracked beer.
Stupid
Yo.
human. Give me donuts.
Oh, we already decided bears only eat honey.
Pete said donuts. I agree.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Fine, we're gonna it's Little Debbie's honey buns.
So-
we're gonna.
All right.
You know?
That counts.
So you know that like bears are like really have really sense of smell. So maybe instead of like a bear spray, you think you could just spray Axe body spray into their nose and that would drive them off too?
No.
Like it drives off most people.
Probably.
No.
No, it would just attract more bears.
Wait,
Yeah.
you do that to people?
You know him.
I haven't tried it yet.
Just like spray that in their nostrils?
He's like, "Ugh."
I figure it would work though.
I don't think that would work at all.
Would you want to stick around somebody who just sprayed Axe body spray in your face?
No,
There we go.
I wouldn't be friends with that person. All right, so discussion topic for today, kind of branching off of Carlos and I's epic foray into Mario Brothers 3. I want to know, what is like your guys' favorite like old school game? Like we're talking like NES, SNES, Sega generation.
Sega Saturn.
Sega Saturn works, yeah. We can talk about that.
Okay.
Fool. No one played that.
You kidding me?
All right, so Carlos, we're gonna start with you.
You're the
Like, what is
only
your
one that
favorite
had
old
one.
school game?
Oh, my favorite old school game. You know, see, the thing is, like, I was very bad at being old school games. Like, since we're cutting off like at like Sega Saturn, like, so it's before PlayStation time.
Yeah, like before like the N64 PlayStation era.
Yeah. So I would have to say Bionic Commando because that game had like swinging mechanics and shooting a gun.
Have you bought like the remasters of that game twice?
I have bought. Technically, yes, because I have it on Steam and I also have it on Xbox 360, but my 360 died a long time ago. But I also have the original on NES.
All right.
Yeah, but that was a fun game.
So, for those people who don't know, what kind of game is Bionic Commando?
It's a kind of a platformer, except instead of a jump button, you get a grappling hook button, and you just grapple around the map.
So you're thinking vertically, like, and grabbing up?
Vertically
instead
and side.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool, actually, some of the movements you can do. But it's interesting, like, you have, like, a swing mechanic like that in, like, an old NES game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they also had Pitfall, so...
Pitfall is for chumps.
That is a hard stance to take. One of the greatest games ever for chumps.
Actually, would we count arcade games?
Yeah.
I would actually say Sinistar then. Sinistar was a fantastic arcade game.
Which one's Sinistar again?
It's the one where like it's kind of like Asteroid. Like Asteroid's the one where like your ship has like a 360 move spin speed. It's kind of like that, except slowly as you're shooting asteroids and like collecting the resources for bombs. Like these other mini ships are doing the same thing, and you can blow up the mini ships, but they spawn forever, and they're trying to collect the bombs, and then they are dragging them away, and they're building Sinistar, and eventually you can't stop it. Eventually, Sinistar is going to be built, and he'll start yelling at you, "Run, coward, run!" and like he'll try to eat you, and then you try to blow him up with your bombs, and then you probably die because it's hard.
Sinistar like a space station? How is he going to eat you?
He's a sentient death machine.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Ryan?
Man, I don't know if anyone is going to remember this one as well as I do, but I played this a ton over and over. But River City Ransom.
We were literally playing that
A couple days ago.
Friday.
That game kicks ass.
Yeah,
it was
we were
released
using-
in like 89 or
Yeah,
something
we were
like
using
that.
a bicycle chain and a bat to just fuck a dude
Yeah,
up.
and then you go to stores and buy things, and you go and buy a book and read it, and then you can like punch really fast or kick or whip that chain really fast.
Oh, so your attack speed goes up. All right, now I
Yeah.
understand the stats a little bit better.
Yeah.
I just kept eating sushi.
Like I was just like, oh.
How far did you guys get in that? Did you beat it?
No.
It's
we-
actually not that hard to beat.
yeah,
but
we made it, 4 bosses in or something?
Yeah.
Like,
sure. Well, you got to get to the Dragon Twins at the end.
Yeah, they were mentioned.
they were mentioned. Also, there was a lot of barfing mentioned.
Yeah, there's a lot of barfing.
No, so I picked up
Barf.
I picked up the Switch Online thing.
Yeah.
So it's like $5 a month or whatever, and you get access to all of these like old NES games.
Well, it's like when the characters would get beat up, they would say the word barf.
Yeah.
Hang on, here's the. I think they're. Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds like what we were hearing a couple days ago.
All right, that's enough of that. I played the shit out of this game though.
It's a really and there's depth to it, like because you have to upgrade your character and stuff.
We've made a big circle a couple of times.
Oh yeah, we were bad at it.
Yeah.
You got to collect coins. That's the
Yeah.
other thing. That was that ding ding sound. That's what that sound was.
Well, and so the coins
Classic side scroller. Too.
complete like
by the way.
arbitrary value to the coins.
No.
Are they all a quarter?
No.
Or are they all a nickel?
Incorrect. Each gang has a different colored shirt. Correct.
Yeah.
Sure.
Salmon, green, blue, dark
All
blue,
colors.
brown,
Gray.
etc. Gray. Each gang has so like the generic dudes, they're like 50 cents. The gang that's the next level up, 55 cents. The next level up, 60, 65, etc. I think it goes all the way up to $1.20.
We needed Brian to play this game with
So
us
when you
to
die,
explain everything.
when you die, do you keep half your your money?
Half your money gets taken away.
All right.
But you can buy shit like there's a secret shop under one of the bridges where you can buy like Excalibur sword, the Isis scroll, like all this weird shit. So
Well,
yeah,
we would not
We
have
needed
had the money for
Brian.
that.
you can go to a sauna and you see the characters' butts.
Yeah, we did that.
They each both have butt dimples.
They
so that's how you know
did.
it's a butt.
Also was really excited when I saw that I could afford ice cream.
Yeah. No, so like I mean the food that you eat in the game at all the different places that that builds your stats.
I ordered fried chicken with gravy and mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
And it sat in your inventory because you didn't use any of it. You just
It was for later.
You can definitely save that for later. Ain't no thing.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting my chicken to go. They asked me if I
River-
wanted to go, and I
River
got
City.
a free smile.
yeah.
Free smiles, free. And she like turns and it's like rant like an orange. It looks like suddenly her face is like an orange
Oh, it was
peel.
horrifying.
Yeah,
And but
well,
then it says like you blush.
you blush. This is the same platform. I don't know how deep people get into the platforms, but if you remember the game Super Dodgeball, it's the same like squat looking, like thick looking. They look like Gordon. Okay.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm in 3D, damn it.
That's debatable.
It depends on how drunk I am.
Touche.
All right, Matt.
Probably Streets of Rage. I played the most when I was.
Rage.
Is that what it is?
Was that Genesis or SNES?
Genesis?
Genesis.
I only had a Genesis and then went to PlayStation after that. So yeah, I played that one a lot in Sonic because that's what you do.
Well,
Sega.
which Sonic was your favorite Sonic?
The first one.
Sonic 1?
Yeah.
Sonic 1 sucks. Sonic 2 is where it's at.
Yeah.
No, it's just because you like just because you want Tails, right?
Yeah.
Why else would you want to?
Because
That's
it's
true.
the better
But
game.
the third one has Knuckles.
Well, Zombies Ate My Neighbors would
What's
be
that
another one
for?
that I played all the time. But yeah, Streets of Rage. I had like the sample pack, and it was like Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, some motocross one, and then I can't remember Tetris maybe. Yeah, Streets of Rage was cool.
This was not fucking everything.
I love Tetris.
Gordon?
I'm trying to think. Game Boy Pocket, was that in that same era, or did that come out?
We can go Game Boy, yeah,
Okay.
because that
A lot of
just
the
played
same
all
games.
like the OG Game Boy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I never played any. I didn't have a console until middle school, and that was a PlayStation.
Why didn't your parents love you?
Yes. No, so Pokemon Red and Blue.
Oh,
I
yeah.
played the shit out of those as a kid.
Yeah,
Because
I'd say that shouldn't-
Pokemon hit when I was in 3rd or 4th grade in elementary school, and then, so that was like my first video game. But console-wise, I'd say the original Mario Kart on, I think, is that
Super Nintendo. Yeah.
with the 3 balloons on the back of your cart.
Oh, God. Super Nintendo Mario Kart is fucking hard. If you would like to see how hard it is, go and watch that YouTube video that we where we played through all of them.
Hey, I got good at that game.
You got okay at that.
That
game.
was I won the Super Nintendo one. I did not do well on the other ones.
I'm amazed at how well that worked out, being able to switch for platforms and everything.
Yeah, no,
like
that was a lot of fun.
That was cool.
It's a really good one. Did you have a game that you'd like to?
Yeah, I don't know how old you guys are, but I'm 25, so 64 was what I played when I was little. I
Motherfucking
haven't played any
GoldenEye,
NES.
right?
GoldenEye, yeah.
Yeah.
The multiplayer in that game was great. Yeah, I love that.
Slappers only.
Yeah.
They had like paintball mode.
Yeah.
Oddjob was
Yeah.
cheating.
Playing mines, that was always tense.
Pokemon Red was really good. I had a Game Boy Advance, but I still played Pokemon Red on that. I'm trying to think. For 64, though, Smash Bros.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sunk a lot of time into Smash Brothers.
So much time. Ocarina of Time.
One of the greatest games ever made.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Frustrating game ever made.
What?
Most frustrating game.
Yeah, I
ever
know that
made.
owl, right? That repeating dialogue.
Yeah,
Gets
no,
me every
he
time.
won't shut up.
Well, that in the Water Temple.
The Water Temple's not bad.
It was bad.
It's not bad.
It wasn't my game or my console, so I couldn't.
So you couldn't throw it out the window?
Yes, I had to restrain myself from busting a controller a few times.
Bash the controller.
Do you
Why
guys
just play
know what?
Wind Waker?
Do you guys know what speedrunners are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a guy that beat Ocarina of Time in 17 minutes. I saw the other day.
Oh, geez. Do you watch?
GDQ?
Yeah. Do you watch GDQ?
No.
It's twice a year they do a 1 week long just nothing. It's nonstop speed runs for a week, and
Raise
it's
a bunch of money
great.
for
Okay.
charities.
Yeah,
and
like
stuff.
all
It's really cool.
games, like any game you could think
Like
of,
the one
almost.
the
Like
one in
just a shitload of
January
games.
raised like 2.5 million for charity.
That's
so.
awesome. I'd love to just have one of those records and say I was the fastest.
I am the best at this weird game.
For
the
this
7
weird-
spot game. Like
The one that happens at 4 in the morning, you know?
like that's in the awful games block. Like
I'm amazing at this awful game.
Like Get Over It. That game.
You got if you watch the Apple Games block, they'll say like, all right, this one only has like 2 speedrunners, so you can try to get your score in there.
because nobody wants to run it. All right, Pete.
I would have to say Mega Man. Like all the Mega Mans.
OG.
Yeah, just like because you had to get to the boss. Like it was a pain in the ass just to get to the boss. When you got there, you had no idea what to expect. Like you had to like try to fight him like 100 times just to like figure out what he does. You know?
Well, that was like the combination thing where you had to like figure out which one you had to
Which
do
one you needed to-
first.
yeah.
You
Yep.
know, and,
Which
like,
like you still had to beat that boss then to get that
True,
power the first
true.
time.
that, and there's
so-
like 13 of them or something crazy.
Yep.
well, yeah, when you'd get bored of it, then you could just do it out of order.
Yep.
and be like, I still rule.
Does it show? Because there's the bosses that you start with, and then there's the bosses you have to fight at the end of the game.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah. It's just.
That or Metroid 1 and 2.
Oh, I
and
sunk
then
so
Prime
much
as
time
well.
into Metroid.
I think that was Game Boy Advance.
That was GameCube. Prime.
Or,
So
well,
much time spent
GameCube
on that.
and then GameCube Advance. But
Dude, what about Akari Warriors? You guys remember
Don't
that
know
one?
that.
Which one was that one?
That was overhead. What's the style? And it was like the guys could.
Isometric or
I think so. The guys could move diagonally and shoot diagonally. Yeah, look that one up. But that one I tried like hell to beat it. Like it's like you get two lives, so you start with one and then you got two, so three technically. But it was a never-ending game. I'm thinking that there wasn't even an actual ending to that game.
just as far as you can get. Like,
Yeah. Like it was kind of like actually. Bionic Commando had overhead sections, kind of like that.
Kind of like Spy Hunter, where they're just like legit. There was not a fucking end to that game. But yeah,
It was
Ikari
the best
Warriors.
way to like you just keep speeding up the enemies until they just blink across the screen and you die. So for me, I think hands down it has to be A Link to the Past. That The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, one of the best games ever made. First Zelda game I beat by myself, and I sunk a lot of time into that game. It was, I don't know, it's the first game where I was like, this is amazing. And then I don't know, I played a lot of Mario. Like you can't do something like this and not mention Mario. Like it's anybody can pick it up and get super frustrated with it. So
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
What was the N64 Mario game, the big one? Where you're like
Super
run
Mario
through a
64?
castle? Is that you like jump into the pictures to go to
Yep,
the level?
yeah. Yeah, the first 3D Mario game.
Yeah, that was the first time I heard of Mario. Was seeing that game played for the first time.
first time you heard of Mario or played Mario?
Heard of.
Yeah, you never had a console.
Did
You
you
No,
not
I didn't know what video games were until I moved to Hudson, and I guess when I got to elementary school, and met some friends that had all the consoles that were available at that time. So probably second grade, third grade.
Wow.
I knew about Mario because when I was a kid, my parents dragged me to like one of their friends' places for some reason, and like they had an NES, and it was the first time I was like 4, and it was like there's Mario and there's Duck Hunt. And it
Oh,
was great.
Duck Hunt was like as a kid was the greatest thing in the world.
I was so
That damn dog though.
like
Dude,
a month
that
ago.
Duck
Tried to hook the NES up and try to play some Duck Hunt on the TV.
So they're making a new zapper that
yeah?
will work with modern TVs.
Okay, that's good
about
because
time.
I
Yeah.
kind of want to play some Duck Hunt.
Right. So just quickly, Nintendo or Sega?
I always preferred Nintendo. I just never had a Sega.
I say quickly. Nintendo or Sega?
Always Nintendo.
Sega, never had a Nintendo.
Never had a Sega. Nintendo.
Nintendo.
We had like everything, and I will say Sega because Sega Saturn and Dreamcast.
All right.
Favorite games ever on those two. So
Well,
You're a crazy Taxi fan, aren't you?
no, not at all. Actually,
That was kind of a fun game though.
No, really?
No,
What was the
not
game
at all.
with the clown cars?
Twisted
and-
Metal.
Twisted
Yeah.
Metal.
Wasn't that PlayStation?
That was
Is
PlayStation.
that PlayStation? Oh,
Yeah.
oh shit. That and Tony Hawk.
That was
Tony Hawk
PlayStation.
Pro Skater. The first
PlayStation.
one. That'd be a fucking really close second.
Yeah, I was Nintendo all the way.
Oh, that soundtrack I still remember from Tony Hawk Pro
Yeah,
Skater.
the Motorhead song, that Primus song.
Yeah, I was always so confused when I went to people's house and I'm like, what is that square little thing, the GameCube and shit like that?
Oh.
Yeah, PlayStation, then PlayStation 2, then
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of our show. Thanks for tuning in this week. If you have any questions, comments, show ideas, or what have you, go ahead and shoot us an email at feedback@blindstudios.com. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/blindstudios, or follow us on Twitter at blind_ninja. You can also follow us on Instagram at Blind Ninja Studios, and we'll see you guys next week.